Haribo. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari 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 Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Jana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Pavarikacharya Satarasada Shishi Maharaj's Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Anantakoti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sako Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Jai Radha Krishna Gopa Gopanath Shai Mukunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Mayapur Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Gaur Premanandi. All glories assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10. Chapter 45, and this is text number 46. Tateti teno panitam guru putram yadutama datvaswa guruve bhuyo vrini swetitam uchatu Tateti teno panitam Guru putram yadutama Datvaswa guruve bhuyo Vrini swetitam uchatu Tateti teno panitam Guru putram yadutamau Datvaswa guruve bhuyo Vrini sweti tam uchatu Tateti taino panitam Guru putram yadutama Datvaswa guruve bhuyo Vrishni veti sauchatu Pateti tanuvanitam Guru putra yadutama Datvaswa guruve bhuyo Vrini sweti taruchatu Tateti tveni panitam Guru putram yadutama Datvaswa guruve bhuyo Vrishni veti samuchatu Tata, so be it. Iti, Yamaraj thus saying, Tena, by him, Upanitam, brought forward, Guru Putram, the spiritual master's son, Yadu Uttamau, the best of the Yadus, Krishna and Balaram, Datva, giving, Swaguruve, to their guru, Bhuya, again, Vrishniva, please choose, Iti, thus, Tam, to him, Uchatu, they said, Yamaraj said, "So be it," and brought forth the Guru's son. Then those two most exalted Yadus presented the boy to their spiritual master and said to him, "Please select another boon." Please repeat. Yamaraj said, "So be it," and brought forth the Guru's son. Then those two most exalted Yadus presented the boy to their spiritual master and said to him, "Please select another boon." And there's no purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, so I will read Jiva Goswami's commentary. And there is also a commentary by Sanatan Goswami, but it is practically identical to Jiva's. So, Jiva Goswami comments, "When Yama agreed, he brought the son of his guru near, living in the same body with which he died." Avanti Kanda says, hearing this, Yama created a youthful body for the son of Sandipani, the same size as before. Seeing this, the Devatas were astonished. It should be understood that this happened because of the power of Krishna. In the previous verse, enjoying the pastime, Krishna said, "Obey my command." It will be said later, and this is from the Srimad Bhagavatam in the 11th canto, it's 11:31:12, and this is Shukadeva Goswami speaking to King Parikshit, and he's trying to reassure him at the time Krishna is leaving. And this quote says, "Krishna brought the son of his guru back from the planet of death in the boy's self-same body, and as the ultimate giver of protection, he saved you also when you were burned by the weapon of Ashvatthama," which harkens back to when Parikshit Maharaj was in the womb of his mother Uttara, and he was going to be, Ashvatthama sent the Brahmastra to kill him in the womb, and Krishna spared him, or saved him at that point from being burned by the Brahmastra weapon. So he could save the son, bring him back in the self-same body, even though Yama protests that, actually, I don't have that body anymore, but Krishna commands, yes, you can recreate again. So he also saved Parikshit. So Krishna can do anything. Thus was by Krishna's power that the boy regained his former body. Vishnu Purana says, blowing the conch and going to Yama's abode, strong Krishna and Balaram defeated strong Yama, whose abode was filled with painful torture. Krishna and Balaram, best of the strong, gave the boy with his previous body to his father. Yama's abode was previously the place of suffering, but by Krishna's presence, all the suffering disappeared. By the will of the Lord, the boy also went to Vaikuntha. Krishna also gave gems from the ocean to Sandipani. Harivamsha says, Krishna delivered the son of Sandipani with his previous form and age, along with jewels from the ocean. The phrase Swaguruve, to his own guru, indicates that Krishna had great devotion to him. Again, they said, choose another gift. This was natural to them, since they were the best of the Yadus. They had appeared in the Yadu dynasty in order to preach proper dharma. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyanan Gyanan Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitan Gena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yenu Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swabadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Vadaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitanamani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Bacharni Nirasesa Shunyavadi Prachachadesh Charni Vanchakalpa Trubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Dvaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yesterday, Krishna Priya Mataji spoke about causeless mercy and how that's a redundancy, because mercy is causeless. Mercy is flowing down from the merciful without any reason. In other words, that merciful person gives his blessings to an unfortunate person because he wants to do it. And Krishna, being the supreme person, he is in the position to give mercy to everyone. If Brahma wants to give mercy, he can give mercy to most anyone. But he himself takes mercy from Krishna. Same with Lord Shiva. Same with anyone in this, anyone in the material world or spiritual world. So Krishna is the source of all mercy. And how that mercy is given is unlimitedly variegated. The mercy comes in so many ways, but everything Krishna does is mercy for the living entity. Because Krishna is completely in love with every part and parcel of his being in the material and in the spiritual world. Everything that is actually ultimately Krishna. Now, this is not like the Mayavadis that says that, who say that everything is Krishna and Krishna is nothing and we're nothing and all nothing and we're all blending into a nothing and whatever. But this is saying that Krishna, he has existed since time immemorial, and all of us have existed alongside with him since time immemorial. Some of us remember that and some of us don't. Those in the spiritual world, whatever their form may be, are all conscious that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and those of us in the material world are mostly unconscious. Certainly the animals, the plants, the trees, the microbes, etc., fish, they're all unconscious. And human beings have an opportunity to become conscious, but most of us choose not to become conscious, or to become conscious in an adulterated way, so that we have some kind of consciousness of God, but we don't see that relationship as us being his eternal servitor. And of course the demigods, they do have consciousness of Krishna, but for whatever reason, they have a business deal with Krishna. You please give us the powers and the mercy, and of course we'll carry out your orders. But that even is imperfect, as we see from personalities like Indra, who make a lot of mistakes. And here we see in the case of Yamaraj, he's very chastened and humbled by Krishna's approach, and even Krishna has to almost force him to give up this boy, even to the point, as it says in the Gopal Champu, I'll read it if I have time, where Yama says, well, all the elements have been already, that body's just dissolved, it's all gone, it's not around anymore. And Krishna says, but you can put it all back together again, you can put the 5 elements together. And he goes, okay, so be it, he says, as it says in the Bhagavatam. And this is being done because Yama knows that his boss is Krishna. And he knows that if he doesn't do this, then he is in a very bad situation. So that's not the kind of relationship ultimately that we're really wanting to have. Because our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, and everyone in the line of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, all the previous gurus and great saintly persons, they've come to give us pure Braj Prema, which is pure love of Krishna in Braj, which is greater than any other kind of prema. How we qualify for this, don't even ask. We don't qualify. But somehow or other, we've been given this mercy. And along with this mercy comes Krishna's guidance. Sometimes guidance is in a soft way, and sometimes guidance in a little harder way. but it's all guidance for us to understand our relationship with Krishna. Because in the end, no matter what we do while we're here in this material world, if it has no connection with Krishna, it has no value. It has no value because constitutionally, we are eternal spirit souls who have a relationship with Krishna, and we're messing around here in the material world, inventing relationships, which we take to be very enjoyable, and which may provide some flickering happiness, chapala sukham, flickering happiness, but are guaranteed also to provide plenty of distress. And therefore, it's distress and happiness in this material world are really one and the same thing. And Prabhupada would say, wet stool, dry stool. Yes, in India, you see these cow patties, and one side is dry, so that's desirable. But the other side's still wet. That's not so desirable. But it's all undesirable because it's all stool. So we have to understand that this is not what we really want. So here, Jiva Goswami, he brings up these points in a very wonderful way by quoting verses from different parts of the Shastra. When Yama agreed, he brought the son of his guru near, living in the same body in which he had died. Actually, I will read a section of Gopal Champu because it's a little more detailed, and it's interesting how it's presented here. Mother Krishna Priya read up to a certain point, and I will take off from that point where she left off, and I will need my glasses. Yama said, his parent, Mother Krishna Priya read this yesterday. Yamaraj said, his parents will not be pleased on seeing his present condition. If you order, I will bring him back in a body similar to the one he had previously, but I do not see that previous body. Krishna said, that's all right. All the 5 elements which left his body can be gathered together again. Yamaraj said, I will follow your order. Saying this, and full of joy, Yamaraj went to his inner chambers and returned, showing the previous attractive body of the boy who followed after him. Seeing him, they felt ashamed. They felt unlimited bliss embraced him, and could not be fully satisfied in seeing his face. Yamaraj stood there, stunned in fear. After a few moments, he spoke to Krishna, who brings peace to hell and who begged permission from Yamaraj. O Lord, this is Yamaraj, you did not come here for the Guru's son because everything is created by your desire. I think you have come to show me mercy. If that is so, destroy my association with hell. So he's saying, I don't want to be here anymore having to run hell. But that's his job. That's the deal. He's the demigod who runs hell. But he's saying here is that he's come here to show mercy. He's come here to show mercy. And the mercy comes in different ways. It comes in the way that Yamaraj sees, yes, I am dependent on Krishna, and by Krishna's mercy, I can do anything by his order. And Krishna also comes to relieve all the souls who are in hell at that time. Don't worry, it filled up again. By his very presence, also takes the son of his guru, who had previously committed many sins and therefore was in hell, and grants him ultimately Vaikuntha. But before that, of course, he brings him back to his parents. Going on here. Respecting Krishna with these words, decorating the brothers and his gurus and the guru's son with ornaments, giving gifts and following them, he then took permission, offered respects, and thinking himself successful, returned to his abode with his servants while dancing. So he goes back to hell, but he's happy because he's done Krishna's will. Looking at Krishna and Balaram, the guru's son, realizing their exquisite beauty, their profuse affection, their sweet words, and that he had regained his previous state by their mercy, he became absorbed in great bliss and gazed at them constantly, such that he did not realize the chariot was speedily taking him home. When Krishna returned to the Guru's house with Balaram and the boy, why should I describe only the Guru and his wife? All the people of the city, sitting near the road with excitement, wondering if the sun was coming when they had heard the sound of the conch, began loudly chattering in great bliss on seeing the boy standing between Krishna and Balaram. Putting the boy in front, Krishna and Balaram descended from the chariot and with great respect fell at the feet of the overjoyed Guru and his wife, remaining in that position for a few moments. The husband and wife, crying profusely, embraced them, not recognizing what other object, auspicious or inauspicious, existed. So this is Jiva Goswami expanding this pastime from the Bhagavatam. Absorbed in this way for some time, they then brought the three into their house with prolific, auspicious rites, with the approval of all present. They then joyfully fed them. Krishna and Balaram took from the chariot all the jewels they had obtained from the ocean in Yama's abode and gifted them to the Guru and his wife. The local people crowded around for 2 or 3 days in order to see Krishna and Balaram, the enemies of Kamsa, now suitably respected. The details about the boys became known by some Mathura Brahmins who had come there previously with them. The people who gathered there were like an ocean. These people of lower status could not recognize front or back. The assembly of their arms was like a huge wave, and their unblinking eyes were like those of fish. They mingled with Krishna, who shone like the moon. And here is mercy again. So mercy is coming in so many ways. Mercy is coming for those in hell. Mercy is coming for Yamaraj. Mercy is coming to the Guru. And so we should understand that if mercy is coming all the time, it's coming to us also. But sometimes we don't recognize that mercy, because it comes in forms that we may or may not recognize or desire. But by Krishna's mercy, everything is happening. Krishna brought, as it says here, when he's from the 11th canto, Krishna brought the son of his Guru back from the planet of death in the boy's self-same body, and as the ultimate giver of protection, he saved you, Parikshit, also when you were burned by the weapon of Aspatama. So we should understand that Krishna is always giving his mercy, always saving, always providing us with the opportunity to advance ourselves in Krishna consciousness and become fully surrendered. But sometimes that mercy doesn't look like mercy, at least at the moment, because something tragic happens, something unpleasant happens, something that appears to be negative happens in our life, which causes us to have to rethink things or remove certain activities. Or it's just something that it seems to be tragic, but it's not, ultimately. Because Krishna, especially for those who have surrendered to him, to the Guru, Yasya prasada bhagavat prasado, yasya prasada nagati katopi. We sing this every morning. By the mercy of Guru, we get Krishna, and by Krishna's mercy, we have a Guru. So anyone who's surrendered to Krishna by surrendering to Guru gets special mercy. But the mercy may not be recognized. So there are many instances of this, but I thought of one that was very interesting from the Krishna book, and it deals with a great king named Muchakunda. Now, Muchakunda was a very pious person, a great king, had all the good qualities of a devotee. And he was fully surrounded by wealth and family and a great number of his citizens, and situated in a way that he was perfectly situated as a happy, powerful king. Dharmic. He was very dharmic. He was not adharmic. He wasn't acting against the rules and regulations of Varnashram or any other authorities of Vedic scripture. Muchakunda was so great and so magnanimous that he even took up fighting the demons with the demigods. He was able, by his great power of his devotion. I mean, none of us can actually go to the planets of the demigods. So we don't have that ability. But Muchakunda, so pious, so great a king, he was able to leave this earthly planet and join with the demigods in fighting the demons, which he did for 1,000 years. But that was demigod time, not human time. And we all know about the theory of relativity. Modern scientists know that if we approach the speed of light, and they've done so many science fiction movies about this, about someone who leaves the Earth planet and goes someplace, and they're going very fast, but they come back in what seems like just a short period of time for them, but when they come back to Earth, everyone they knew is gone, because time for them was very short, but time for the Earth was very long. So when it was time to for Muchakunda to go home, he said, "Well, I want to go home now." And Kartikeya, son of Lord Shiva, said, "Well, I got some bad news for you. When you go back home, nobody there is alive that you knew. It's all gone. It's been gone for thousands of years, because you've been up here fighting with us against the demons, and in the meantime, things on earth have just gone on their own pace, and we're sorry, but you're out of luck. There's no family." He was not happy. He was angry. He was very angry. How has this happened? I've lost everything. I'm a pious man. I should have had all this. Why did I lose? I did pious things. I fought demons. Why is this happening to me? So in his frustration and anger, when Kartikeya said, "What boon do you want?" he said, "I just want to sleep. I'm really tired, and I want to sleep. I can't take it. I just want to void out for a while and sleep. In fact, I want to sleep so much that I don't want to be awakened by anyone. So if someone wakes me up untimely, I want the boon to be able to burn him to ashes." Nice boon. But Krishna is in control, so we see how this boon will work out for everyone involved. So Kartikeya says, "Oh, so be it. You can have that boon." So he then enters into a mountain cave and goes to sleep. Meanwhile, Krishna, in his Mathura Dwarka pastimes, he's fighting lots of demons. And so one demon, what was his name? Kalyavana. So Kalyavana, he was chasing Krishna, who was running away from the battlefield. And so he was chasing, and Krishna ran into this cave. But it was all a plan. Because Kalyavana was puffed up, proud, and he was thinking, "I'm going to defeat Krishna. I've trapped him in a cage. There's no way he can get away." So Krishna runs into the cave. He runs up and sees someone sleeping. He says, Krishna's faking it. So he then shakes Muchakunda, who wakes up and burns him to ashes. Unfortunately, Kalyavana wasn't killed by Krishna, so I don't know what his final outcome was. But Krishna was in the room, so let's say that hopefully, and I have to check this in Krishna book. Can't remember there's an authoritative reference to this, but at least Krishna was there, so he was given mercy as to be able to enter into the Brahman effulgence. But Muchakunda, he's awake, and he sees Krishna, and it's like, wow, what is this? He could not even view Krishna because Krishna was so bright, and Krishna appeared to him as a Vishnu form with full opulence and full regalia, and it was completely mind-blowing for him. He could not even get his head around it, and he speaks elaborate, long prayers, praising the Lord and praising the fact that he has now been able to see the Lord. There's mercy. He loses everything. He's so angry, all he wants to do is just sleep. He asks for a curse, which is not a nice curse, but in this case, a good curse because it gets rid of a demon who's been harassing Krishna's devotees. And then wakes up and sees Krishna. I mean, Naligriva and Nalakuvera, they were cursed for 100 years of the demigods. It's a long time to stand as trees. But then they got to see Krishna. So this curse, or this situation that Muchakunda finds himself in, changes everything for him. He sees the light. And after he sees the light, he speaks to Krishna some very as part of his prayers. He speaks these words. I'll start with the with two paragraphs from this section of chapter 51 of Krishna book. So he's speaking about mercy, about the mercy of Krishna and how that mercy comes. And so he says, if therefore, I'll see if I can see this a little better. It is therefore very difficult to get out of material entanglement. But if one is somehow or other favored by you, by your mercy alone, he is given the opportunity to associate with a pure devotee. That is the beginning of liberation from the entanglement of material conditioned life. My dear Lord, only by the association of pure devotees is one able to approach your lordship, who are the controller of both the material and spiritual existences. You are the supreme goal of all pure devotees, and by association with pure devotees, one can develop his dormant love for you. Therefore, development of Krishna consciousness in the association of pure devotees is the cause of liberation from material entanglement. So to get out of material entanglement is not easy. In his case, he didn't have the association of the devotee. He had the association of Krishna directly. Same thing. It's not easy. We're entangled. We're attached. Remember the story of Indra, cursed to be a pig. And when he got so used to being a pig, not such a great thing to be, but he was so used to it, he had his pig wife and his piglets, and they were enjoying life as pigs. That he actually had, but Brahma actually had to come down and kill the family and say, now, bereft of everything, go back to your kingdom. Be Indra again. So it's difficult. So sometimes harsh measures, doesn't use harsh, but strong measures are used. So here he says, my dear Lord, you are so merciful that in spite of my being reluctant to associate with your pure devotees, you have shown your extreme mercy upon me as a result of my slight contact with such a pure devotee as Gargamuni. He had some slight contact with Gargamuni, but he didn't want to associate with devotees. He was very dharmic. He's a big king, but he wasn't interested in anything but being a big king. By your causeless mercy only, I have lost all my material opulences, my kingdom, and my family. Oh, and now I see it's mercy that I've lost all this. Mercy. I do not think I could have gotten rid of all those entanglements without your causeless mercy. Without you doing this to me. It's all being done by you. It's all orchestrated by you. Kings and emperors sometimes accept the life of an ascetic to forget their royal life, but by your special causeless mercy, I have already been bereft of royalty. I do not need to become a mendicant or practice renunciation. So here we have devotional service. We don't have to become mendicants or practice renunciation because Krishna removes everything from our life that will cause us to be attached to this material world. And sometimes it's not very nice. But sometimes it can be very nice. And according to our level of gratitude to Krishna and surrender to Krishna. Because if we think, oh, difficult things are happening to us. I mean, my God, it's horrible. Why did this happen to me? Krishna, why did you do that? Krishna didn't do it to us. Krishna did whatever he did for us through his agents in the material world. And if we are stubbornly holding on to some ego or to some material attachment, and we won't give it up, and it's obvious we can't make advancement unless we give up these things, Krishna sometimes sends us something to break our pride. And then we may be chastened to the point where we understand that I should cooperate with Krishna. It doesn't mean there won't be some difficulties, but by cooperating with Krishna, then we have a smooth ride, even though sometimes it's a little bumpy. Think of a drowning man. He's in the water, the lifeguard comes, and he's fighting so hard the lifeguard has to punch him in the head, maybe knock him out so he can take him back. Had he not been fearful and fighting for his life against the lifeguard's merciful saving, he wouldn't have to knock him on the head. But after saying, calm down, sir, calm down, sir, calm down, don't, I've got you, he's still fighting it. He has to say, well, excuse me, boom. After a few booms, we start realizing, Krishna, I'd rather have steady guidance. And that means we chant very enthusiastically, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And we realize things like, I won't offend devotees. I won't criticize devotees. And we see things like envy as something that, we see those envious karmis. We see those people are envious. Envy is in our heart. And we have to realize it's there. Sometimes, if we're really just not going to see it, it's going to take something dramatic. But if we start understanding, Krishna, I know, I've read, I've seen, I've read the prayers of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that I have this envy in my heart, which is the seed of all the other problems. Then I'm going to say, Krishna, please forgive me, but please allow me to give up this envy and serve your devotees and chant your holy name without any ulterior motive. Ultimately, in the beginning we tell people, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. And then people will say, well, yeah, I chanted Hare Krishna and my anxiety went away. Or I chanted Hare Krishna and I got a job. I even know someone that happened to like that. Well, maybe that's true. That's very nice. But ultimately, we're chanting Hare Krishna for one reason, to please the Supreme Lord and to have his association, which we can have by Lord Chaitanya's mercy. It's very hard to get Radha Krishna's association. But by Lord Chaitanya's mercy, through the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, we associate with him and Radha Krishna, in the Mahamantra every day, at least for 16 rounds, more rounds if you can. And by doing that, every day we're in touch with the Supreme Lord and his beloved consort, Radharani. So, this means we have to ultimately chant the holy name purely, without offense. Get to the point where we can chant Hare Krishna without committing the 10 offenses. And the first one is offending devotees. We must learn not to ever offend devotees. Never complain, never criticize, and always chant. Don't complain, don't criticize, and always chant. Don't complain about devotees. Devotees are great. Don't criticize devotees. They're doing service. And always chant. Chant Hare Krishna. And chant with them. Have some problems with somebody? Go to a kirtan with them. Do something where we can associate without any kind of other issues. And realize that as many issues as you think they have, I've got them too. So, we have to understand this and then therefore become purified. And in this case, learn the lessons of the Bhagavatam, how Krishna is merciful to all of us at all times, no matter what we may think at that time. Because that's Krishna's business, to give mercy to all souls. Because only he is at the peak and can give mercy to everyone. Everyone else takes mercy from him. Stop there. Hare Krishna. Haribo. Well, the nice class is Jiva Goswami, Srila Prabhupada, and all the previous acharyas who have allowed me to say anything at all. Thank you very much, Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Kanvandam Maravindadalayataksham Bharavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Kandar Agom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Asa Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Pasyanti Panti Kayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami 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 Govindam Adipurusham
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Kora More Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koramore Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koramore Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koramore Toma Bina Ke Dayalu Jagat Samsare Toma Bina Ke Dayalu Jagat Samsare Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara Patita Hetu Tava Avatara Mosama Patita Prabhu Napaibe Ara Mosama Patita Prabhu Napaibe Ara Ha ha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi 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 Kripa Bala Kana Koro Ami Boro Duki Kripa Kana Kana Koro Ami Boro Duki Doya Koro Sita Pati Advaita Gosai Daya Koro Sita Pati Advaita Gosai Daya Koro Sita Pati Advaita Gosai Daya Koro Sita Pati Advaita Gosai Tava Kripa Bale Pai Chaitanya Nitai Na Kripa Bale Pai Chaitanya Nitai Ha ha Swarup Sanatana Rupa Raghunath Ha ha Bhusanatana Rupa Raghunath Ha ha Swarup Sanatana Rupa Raghunath Ha ha Prabhu Sanatana Rupa Raghunath Bhatta Yuga Shri Jiva Prabhu Lokanath Bhatta Yuga Shri Jiva Prabhu Lokanath Doya Koro Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivas Doya Koro Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivas Doya Koro Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivas Koro Shri Acharya Srinivas Ramachandra Sangamage Narottama Das Ramachandra Sangamage Narottama Das Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radhe Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radhe Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radhe Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radha Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Shri Gaura ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Golokananda ki jai. My dear Lord, please be merciful to me, because who can be more merciful than your Lordship within these three worlds? Your incarnation is just to reclaim the conditioned fallen souls, but I assure you that you will not find a more fallen soul than me. Therefore, my claim is first. My dear Lord Nityananda, you are always joyful in spiritual bliss. Since you always appear very happy, I have come to you because I am most unhappy. If you kindly put your glance over me, I may also become happy. My dear Advaita Prabhu, husband of Sita, you are so kind. Please be kind to me. If you are kind to me, naturally, Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda will also be kind to me. I pray for the mercy of Swarup Damodar, the six Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Bhatta Raghunath Goswami, Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, and Lokanath Prabhu. I, Narottam Das, pray to the merciful Srinivasacharya and always desire the company of Ramachandra Kaviraj. Shri Narottam Das Thakur Ki Jai. Cheto Darpanam Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairavya Chandrika Vitaranam Vijavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipanam Pranamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Paramadayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita niyamita smarane nakala. Etam vishita rakita bhagavanamati. Durdaiva mitishami ajjanina nuraga. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi suhishuna. Amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Nadaram najanam nasundarim. Kavitam va jagadisha kamae. Mama janmani janmani ishvare. Bhavatad bhaktir ahoita ki twai. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram. Patitam mam vishame bhavam buddha. Kripayata vapada pankaja. Stita duli sadrashim vachintaya. Nayanam galashudaraya. Varanam gadgada hridaya gira. Pulakarnishitam vapukada. Tavanama grahame vivishyati. Yugayatam nimishena chakshusha pravashayatam shunayatam jagat sarvam govindam virahename ashlishyava padamritam panastumam adarshanam marma hata karotuva yatatatava vidatatulam patomat prananatastusa eva napara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you've invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than a straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Oh my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? Oh Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me brokenhearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditional.